Hi everyone and welcome to another gameplay analysis video for Jojo's All-Star Battle Group G. Because people seem to want more boss battles, we have Dio vs Pucci and Kawajiri vs Valentine. I did really think that no one would want any of the Kakyoin matches, because there seems to be some sort of hatred for Kakyoin knocking out all these boss characters, even though I think it's hilariously coincidental that he just runs through the bosses. So yeah, moving on. But the projectile looks to be about... I slowed it down, and it seems to be about -1 on hit at that point blank range, which is really pretty good for a projectile at point blank. Normally they're pretty bad at point blank, to kind of not make you throw them at point blank. Yeah, since the projectile is such a good spacing tool at any range, normally they're pretty bad at point blank, so that you can't use them at every range willy-nilly. But -1 is pretty good. Yeah, as was theorized. I haven't ended up pointing this out, but yeah, it was theorized in the comments and videos and on threads and stuff. The recoverable health you get is relative to the damage you take from the combo, by the looks of it. Which would explain why the pokes gave AC/DC so little recoverable health against Jotaro. Yeah, as you can see, it's quite a bit, really. Pretty interesting how close you can be to the car and not get hit by it there. But it does seem to be one of the more dangerous hazards so far, with all the damage it does. Thankfully it only covers such a small area, so you can probably pretty easily get off that. Kind of like the cars in F-Zero stages in Smash Brothers. You just stay out of their normal path and you should be okay. But if it does end up like that, then it'll probably be the same problem that the F-Zero stages have, in that during the segments where the car starts coming through, obviously no one wants to get hit by the car, and it's too hard to make your opponents get hit by them. So generally what happens is the gameplay just stops while people wait for the cars to go by. Since this area is so small, it's not going to be that bad unless you end up on either side of it. But it could be an annoying problem, just kind of stalling matches while everyone waits for it to finish. Although, yeah, with some stages there could be the possibility of it being easy to try and take advantage of it with certain characters. So it's not inherent that the matches will end up being stalled by hazards, but it is a problem that could come up with risky stuff like this. It really annoys me when the AI just does these light, medium, heavy strings without cancelling the heavy into a special, because it does look like the heavies are really not that fantastic on hit. I mean, I'm sure everyone playing the game would immediately know to try and cancel into a special, even if not to make it more safe, but to get more damage, but they do really look kind of bad. So unless your character has a safe special, you probably won't be able to use the heavies that much for footsies. So yeah, I'll probably be kind of like, end up more like Blaze Blue, I guess, where the mediums are the most used button. I've been informed that apparently the idols hit this Rekka series every time, and so the AI is just a huge fraud, and it is apparently not that difficult. So take back my comments about it in the last video. AI is just huge fraud. It's unfortunate that despite the animation, that's not a command grab. Would have been pretty cool. But I guess the ability to combo into it probably end up being more useful than it being a grab. With that huge super flash and dash for what he does, so. Using those Rekka series, Dio can get some pretty serious guard damage on, but unless one of the enders he can do is safe, and there's no way for your opponent to stylish move or reversal you out of it, I don't know how practical it'll end up being to try and drain their guard gauge. I think with that knockdown, if Pucci started talking to the Green Baby earlier, he would have got a word off for free. Um, he still probably would have given up his chance for a mix-up on Wake Up. Maybe he could have done like a stand light or something to keep pressure on, but if you did want the word, I think you could have got it. I think Pucci could have got it there for free. It's hard to tell, but I do think that that knockdown was long enough. Presumably they would give him some moves where he can get some words out, because then otherwise it'll be really hard for him to get to Simu. And I'm sure the devs want you to be able to get to Simu. So that move, the kind of knockdown and OTG in one move that Whitesnake did look like it was designed to get you a lockdown long enough. I was really disappointed that didn't combo when I was first watching on the stream, because it looked like it would, and I was all like, oh, that was a sick comp, but unfortunately no. Yeah, since he did that in his easy bit at the beginning, I was kind of getting excited, but I guess it doesn't work due to the travel time once you get a bit further out, which is a little disappointing, but can't ask for too much. Oh, that'll do. That's close enough to the beginning. So, Kawajiri Kira has this move where he does the bubble, the air bubble cushion, which you can see it over here. And he doesn't do anything with it for a bit. I'm just bringing up the fact that he has it now. I'll talk about it later when it actually does something. So I was asked to talk about this flag move, and the first thing he did with it is that kind of jump forward bit. That looked like it had potential to do things, but this bit where he just kind of hides in the flag for a bit seems impractical. Um, I assume the AI is just holding down a button to hide in there, because I doubt they'd make a move where you just stay in it for that long. But with you R in it for that long, even though you will avoid something, you'll just be punishable. So it's a bit weird. If you are holding down the button to hide in it, then and you can kind of just go up and then come back down, that'd be interesting. But yeah, I'm still not so sure about it without the movement he had it the first time. I'm a little disappointed with the distance those air bombs go, I have to admit. I thought they'd go a bit further. Um, I didn't want them to go full screen, because I guess that would kind of take away the appeal of the manual bombs, but it just seems kind of short for someone that I thought the devs would be designing as a zoning character, considering all he did once he got Stray Cat was just kind of throw air bubbles. But I guess they wanted more focus on the manual air bombs. So yeah, you can be kind of out here, and the explosion will just touch you. Um, yeah, it does seem kind of annoying for Kira with how big the explosion is on the bubbles. It is kind of restrictive for the explosion on wake up stuff I've talked about a bunch, that you kind of have to detonate it. If like your opponent's here, you'd have to detonate it over here to make sure that it hits them but not you. But and the fact your opponent can like dash into your projectile to make it blow up in your face and hit you as well, it's kind of amusing. But yeah. But the fact that you can't use it directly in front of you and it doesn't go full screen is really kind of annoying. But I guess that's why they put in the manual one. Yeah, as you saw, the manual one doesn't clash with projectiles. I'm not sure if the explosion there was too late, or if the explosion doesn't clash with projectiles either, but either way, that makes Kawajiri have a really hard time against other zoners, considering he's only got those two projectiles. One of them doesn't clash, and the other was only one hit. It's a little weird. He does have something that I get to talk about in a bit, but I don't know if it'll be enough. With that little damage Valentine took while he had the corpse parts, I have to admit, you're really gonna wanna 100% get a knockdown as fast as you can. Um, you can't just like if your character has projectiles that don't knock down, then and do go through the shield that he has, like Emerald Splash, then throwing them isn't really gonna mean anything, because even if you do hit him because he mucked up trying to get in, then he won't take any damage from it. It's just irrelevant to him. So yeah. Oh, of course, that doesn't mean you don't want to gonna get your full combo. Presumably your combo still ends in a knockdown, and it's not like ending your combo early to get that knockdown is going to increase the damage from the combo. You're still going to want to get the full damage, but yeah, it's just yeah. Kira's AI can be really stupid sometimes. I really wish they'd stop sidestepping back into projectiles they've already dodged. So yeah, that's this already looks kind of like a problem for Kira. That funny Valentine has only that one projectile and it's already ruining Kira's ability to zone. So yeah, even if he is built like a zoner, you're gonna have to rush in some matchups because like there's nothing you'll be able to do against that, or Kakuin, or Johnny. Yeah, maybe like Pucci you'd be able to because he only has a one-hit projectile as well, and maybe Whole Horse if he doesn't charge up his bullet. But so here we go. He had the cushion on now, and Funny Valentine fires his revolver, and the first hit clashes with the air bomb, and then the next hit hits the cushion, um, and then the next ones hit him. So it looks like it kind of gives you one hit to absorb a projectile, or maybe something else, depending on like different versions of it, I guess. But just one extra hit, like there's no like the only two-hit projectile I can think of off the top of my head is when Mista shoots two bullets at once. Everyone else is either one hit or many hits. So, considering Kira can only get up to two hits of durability, one from the projectile and one from the cushion, I don't know how practical that is actually going to be at helping him out versus other zoners. Because, like, Funny Valentine went through it, Emerald Splash will go through it, Tusk will go through it, so much will go through it, and it just seems a little sad for him. I guess against Gyro it'll really help because he won't be able to do any. It'll stop sort of pressure tricks with the steel balls because it'll absorb the hit and then you can just keep going. But yeah, it just seems a little worrying. Maybe he has higher strength of it or something that can absorb more hits. I hope there's something. That explosion, I can't tell if it was too far away or if it got cancelled out by the shield. But it could have been either. But if it did get cancelled out by the shield, that's another projectile that gets stopped by it, and Emerald Splash is still alone on the list of things that go through it. Oh, there we go. Immediately afterwards, I made it look like an idiot. So, bomb explosions to go through. There's two things on the list. Emerald Splash and Explosions. So, just then, Valentine sidestepped Kira's projectile, the manual one, which he then detonated in his face, which hit him, but not Valentine, and Valentine got a combo off it. So, you're gonna have to be a bit careful with those manual ones when your opponent's close to you, if they can just get you like that. It's pretty amusing for poor Kira. But note that timers are frozen during the taunts. They don't tick down, so that at the end wasn't a timer scam. That was just Valentine being a dick. Though I'd be surprised, pleasantly surprised, if there was an AI program to actually timer scam someone. So I'm sorry for not really commenting on the flag that much, but it's kind of hard to see uses for it when it's being held down for that long. Going in the forward jumpy one seems pretty bad because it's probably going to put you into a range where you can be punished. But if you want to get out of pressure from a character that's kind of slow, maybe like Okuyasu, if you wanted to get away from that, the backwards jumping one, immediately letting go would probably be a pretty good tool for that purpose. But the forward jumping one and the neutral jumping one, I'm not too sure about. It'll have to depend on how fast he recovers if you don't stay inside the flag for very long. So, yeah, with Valentine out of the tournament and the AI not being very spectacular, it'll be hard to tell until the game comes out how useful it'll be. Well, with every move it's really going to be hard to tell until the game comes out, because the AI is definitely not going to be using the moves in the best way possible. And so, except for moves with extremely obvious uses like projectiles and stuff, it's going to be difficult to tell whether a move is just combo filler or actually has neutral game use or mix-up use or anything. So, yeah. Kira is really Kawajiri Kira, rather, is really kind of worrying me, though, because the manual air bomb, all his stuff, really, except for the primary bomb, seems kind of mediocre so far compared to other characters who do similar things. Like, his zoning here is obviously not that good. The air cushion is a cute idea, but it doesn't end up being that useful to me. Yeah. I'm sure the AI is just not using something that could be used, or is not using things in the most efficient way possible. Maybe he probably ends up just rush down, to be honest. Even if I want him to be zoning, you probably just want to throw in the regular air bomb, not the manual one, and dash behind it, and then turn them into the primary bomb, or put a pebble on their wake up, or things you could do. But yeah, and then trying to do a projectile game with anyone in this game so far, I don't think he could win. Even the ones that aren't zoning characters, except for Pucci. I think everyone else would beat him, so yeah. It's a bit worrying for poor Pete, who wanted to play Kira as a zoning character, but I'll probably end up playing everyone anyway, so anyone everywhere. So, not too big of a deal in the end. Thanks for watching. Top 16 probably out before the next one, and most of the other matches are kind of just Pucci flailing around like an idiot, and being more concerned with telling words to the green baby than the actual match, or Kira throwing lots of air bombs. If anyone does want one of the Kakyoin matches, though, feel free to say it in the comments. Yeah, thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Sorry for PP6 taking so long, but you probably already watched it by the time you watch this. Hope everyone enjoyed it, and I hope everyone enjoyed this as well.